you all will undergird those young people. Begin to dare to just ask them the question, sweet, if success were guaranteed and you could not fail, what would you desire to do? I'm not asking you to even think about how you're going to get it accomplished, but what is it that you would desire to do? What's God speaking into your spirit? So when you begin to speak to them that way, they're living at that point from the inside out rather than from the outside in. See, our young people are going to be one of two ways. They're either going to live reactive lives or they're going to live proactive lives. And a reactive life causes you to do this. You dream and set goals with your body. Now understand, if you dream and set goals with your body, you're living a dysfunctional life, because what did I say? The body is simply a machine, right? The body was not created to dream and set goals. But how many people dream and set goals based upon what they've seen other people do or heard other people say about them? That's what you find most of our young people doing. Dreaming and setting goals based upon their bodies, planning with their souls, and then using their spirit, their gift from God to carry out that puny little task. Why would I say it's puny? Because when you juxtapose your mere physical ability with the colossal obstacles of the world, you'll say there's but so much I can do because I'm too tall, short, light, fat, skinny, this, that, and you keep yourself on the level of mediocrity. But you know the ones who go on to change the world? You know the ones who are able to go over to Peru and build houses and go into the jungle, into the Bora Bora tribe and help christen wells, and they go and do parasite campaigns. These are the ones who live from the inside out, proactive lives, and they dream and set goals with their spirit. Now see, that's functional, because the spirit bears witness with the Spirit of God. The spirit asks not what can I do, but what do I desire to do. Then they plan with their minds, and then they simply use their bodies to carry it out. They say, I want to be a nurse. They figure out the steps to become a nurse, and then they simply take the steps to become a nurse. They say, I want to be a doctor. They figure out the steps necessary to become a doctor, and then they simply become doctors. They say, I want to be a college professor. They figure out the steps necessary to become a college professor, and then they're geeky enough, idealistic enough, goofy enough, crazy enough, and whatever else their peers call them enough to take those steps. And before you know it, they're living out their God-given potential. Isn't that really what Psalm 37:4 means? So let's listen to it. Delight yourself in the Lord. I'm praising you, Lord, and he'll put desires in your heart. And then if you commit yourself to his ways and trust also into him, what does he do? He shall bring them to pass. Dream and set goals with your spirit. Plan with your mind. And use your body to simply live out. I challenge you all to get behind what Shelton Reed is doing here. Whether it's you coming alongside a young person and playing a part with them, or whether it's you giving the resources to help undergird the pieces that they're playing, I dare you to come alongside them and help a young person simply begin to put desires into the air that they haven't even spoken because they're afraid they're not going to achieve. We have so many young people right now who have incredible potential to live mediocre lives. Why? Because no one has dared to knock the cap off of their desires. And I want to challenge every one of you. Those young people who are coming to the church, those young people who are coming through those programs, take an opportunity. Sit alongside them and simply ask that question. Is success guaranteed? If all of creation has been put in place to help you achieve your goal, I don't care how many times you have bumped your head. I don't care how many times you have failed. Today's a new day. Michael Jordan, the best basketball player to ever play the game. Sophomore year of high school, got cut from his varsity basketball team. Michael Jordan, cut from his varsity basketball team. But what did he say? I still believe I'm supposed to be a great ball player. And sir, 6 years later, first round draft pick in the NBA, number 2 overall, and I don't think anybody else who made Michael Jordan's basketball team went to the pros. But Michael Jordan did. Why? Because he dared to believe. I don't care what you say. I don't care how many times I failed in the past. There's still this thing. It's like fire shut up in my bones, and I believe that there's greatness in my life. When you see those young people coming to this church, remind them of who they are. Speak life into them. See their name, change their name, put a name on the inside of them, and watch the work that God does on the inside of them. When I was in Malaysia, it was on a trip around the world. It was a semester abroad. I was actually in college, and it was a semester abroad in college. I'm laying on this beach in Malaysia, looking at this sunset. You know what I said? I'm getting college credit for this. That was sweet. That was better than that. You know what I told myself? I said, you know what? I only went to the hotel school because I saw my brother go to culinary school, and I said, if he can do that, then I can do that. But I really want to be a lawyer. People said, Alfred, you've just spent the last 3.5 years learning how to make beds and screw in light bulbs. I said, that's wrong. They said, what makes you think you can go on to become a lawyer? I said, I didn't say I could. I don't even know how to do it. I just need to figure out what it takes. So I went back to Cornell and I asked my professor, I said, sir, how do I go from the hotel school to becoming a lawyer? He told me the steps necessary to do it. 4 years later, I was graduating from law school, fourth in my class, with an offer at one of the top 3 corporate law firms in the country with a 6-figure salary, going on to live out my destiny. Why? Because I was just foolish enough to dream set goals with my spirit, plan with my mind, and work with my body. But you know what? I wish I could say that was the end. Mr. Blank, I had it all set. My wife saw it. By age 35, I will be a millionaire. I was headed there. Then it happened. I realized one day that I was living my life, and at the end, people were going to say, Alfred was a pretty awesome dude. Not what a mighty God we serve. I was at a conference, and I said, God, I don't want to live my life for me. My life was created to bring you praise. In the middle of this conference, I lifted up my hands and I said, God, I want to know what you can do with one person completely sold out to you. And I literally opened my eyes because it erupted out of me. It wasn't from my mind. That was from my spirit. And I opened my eyes and I didn't know what that was, but I let it go. It wasn't a month later. I had no idea what was going to happen. A month later, my pastor, we're driving down New Jersey Turnpike, and he says, son, I'm leaving the church to go pastor in Florida. I believe you to be the pastor of the church. He could have told me I was going to the moon. I said, no. I'm not interested in being pastor. If you said youth pastor, I'd do that, but I like little people, not big people. I'm not interested in pastoring a church. No. I said no in November. I said no in December. I said no in January. But God continued to speak to my spirit. He said, the only reason why you're saying no is because you don't think you can do it. But you know I'm calling you to do it. Have you ever had an opportunity to risk it all for God? I remember those days when I was saying, sweetie, I'm about to leave my entire legal career. The whole church can fall apart and I can fall flat on my face. But when do you ever get a chance to give it all up for God? You couldn't keep me from it. Because I knew that this is what I was born to do. And on June 17th, 2001, I left the legal profession, became pastor of Cornerstone Christian Center, about 125, 150 people or so, and over the last 10 years, God has done the miraculous. Church now, on any given Sunday, 400 plus people. We're taking over the last 13 months, our adults have gone to Haiti, youth went to Guatemala, young adults went to Dominican Republic. Just seeing hearts and lives and souls touched every single year. And you know, and we're on October 30th, we'll celebrate the 1-year anniversary of our brand new building that we purchased last year. 483 trees. Imagine if I thought about what I could do. I would have never stepped into it. All I could do is say, God, I know it's a desire that you're giving me. And I'm going to do this as I close. Proverbs 3:5. I'm going to trust in you with all of my heart, leaning not to my own understanding. All my ways acknowledge you and allow you to take me places I could never take myself. I challenge all of you to do the same by through good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is your better and your better is your best. God bless you. Thank you for listening.